Hello everyone. Welcome to the new session of post-harvesting process part 2. So in this session we are going to study about primary processing. Primary processing of seeds, cleaning and grading, hulling, pounding, milling, paraboiling and drying. So these are the different topics that we are going to cover up in this particular session. So let us start this session with primary processing. So the primary processing is done after the post harvesting of the cereal, right? So in this post primary processing, what we do, we just go for the cleaning of the seeds or the grains which we obtain from after harvesting, that is the post harvesting cereal. Okay, then it goes for grading, hulling, pounding, milling, drying, paraboiling, and then it goes for the storage. So these are the different steps. These are the different steps that we follow in a sequential manner, and this is called primary processing. Primary processing. So the first one is, that is cleaning and grading. So before further processing, grains are cleaned and graded according to the size. So when we obtained seeds after the harvesting, we see that there are different sizes of the seeds. So according to the grain sizes, the seeds are graded, that is we are separating the seeds according to their size, right? And before that, we are also removing the chaff, soil and other dirt that are present along with the seeds. So the first thing is that with the process of winnowing machines, we can be used to separate out the chaff, soil and the dirt. So all these things are removed. That is called as cleaning of the grains, right? And then we obtain grains in a proper way. But the grains are of different sizes, right? So according to the sizes of the grains are done for grading. The grains are then it follows the process of grading. So the very important, that is the cleaning process. We remove chaff, soil and dirt from the grains, and then we, according to the sizes of the grains, we segregate them. So some machines have the integral sieve that combine cleaning and grading. So there are many machines that sieves, means small sizes of the seeds are sieve out and the larger one are present above. So according to the small and larger size, we can segregate the seeds. And this can also be used for cleaning. Cleaning means you are removing the dirt, you are removing the chaff, you are removing the uh, soil that are present in along with the seeds, that is the grains. Okay, so there are some integral machines, integral sieves are there that combine cleaning with grading. Next process is the hulling. Several grains have unpalatable husk or shell that need to be removed by the decorticator. So sometime what happened, the grains are covered with the husk or shell, so that has to be removed. Okay, so we, for that we require decorticator. A range of specialized machines are available for this task. A range of small rice hullers, both manual and powered, is available. So for the rice huller, we are having manually available hullers, and also the powered hullers are there, right? So these rice hullers can be used. So according to the husk or the shell that are present above the covering of the as a covering of the seeds, so we are having different decorticator or hullers. Huller machines are available. Less rice is broken during the hulling if the rice is paraboiled first. So what we do, we paraboiled, means we boil the rice for some duration of time, okay, not fully boiled, and then it is used for hulling. So that in that case the rice are not broken. Otherwise, If it is not boiled, then rice are very hard, and for removing their husk, which is present above the seeds, rice can be broken. So this paraboiling can be done to uh, remove the husk that are present above the rice seeds. Okay, so the rice polishers are available for removing the rice bran after hulling. So we are having rice polishers also that are used for removing the rice bran, that is the covering of the rice. Okay, now we are having the third process, that is the pounding and milling. So three main types of grain mills are available. Now we have removed the uh, cleaned the seeds, we have removed the seeds according to their sizes. Now we have also removed the husk that is attached to the, or the bran that is attached to the seeds. Okay, so all that has been removed. Now what we steps we can follow: pounding and milling. So there are three main types of grain mills are available, that is plate mill, hammer mill and roller mill. So let us see what are they do. So the first one, that is the plate mill. The plate mill grind the grain between the two abrasive grinding plates. So we are having two grinding plates that grind the seed, one rotating and one stationary. So one of the plate is stationary and one of the plate is rotatory. So there are two abrasive grinding plates that is used for grinding the grain. So this is the plate mill. This is in the case of plate mill. Now you can see the picture of the plate mill. Next type of mill is the hammer mill. So what happened in hammer mill? Hammer mill is basically all purpose grinder which can be used for grinding wide range of feed stuff such as oil, cakes, extraction meal, broken rice, oats, hulls and maize. So this is used for so many stuffs. Okay, so this is a basically a grinding machine that is used to take out oil cakes, extraction meal, broken rice, oats, and hulls and maize. The matter to be ground is subjected to the beating action of hammer. Okay, there is a beating action of hammer, and that is why this particular mill is got its name hammer mill. Okay, and it reduces to the finest necessary to pass through the sieve. So there is a sieve machine also, so that passes a very fine material. Okay, so this is about the hammer mill. The third type is the roller mill. So roller mills are the mills that use cylindrical rollers either in opposing pairs or against the flat plates to crush or grind various materials such as grain, ore, gravel, plastics and others. So this roller mills are used for so many things, not only for the grinding the grain but also for the gravel, ore and plastics. So this is about the roller mill. The choice of mill. So we are having three different types of mill, that is a plate mill, hammer mill and the roller mill. So the choice of mill depend on the raw material, what type of raw material is there, and the scale of production, how much production we require. It depends on that, and also about what type of raw material we are using. So we can go for the choice of mill accordingly. Hammer mill are almost universally used throughout the developing world. So this can be used for any type of material, any type of, whether you are going for the oil cakes, whether you are going for the grinding the grains, right? Plate mills are widely available in the West Africa. So the different country region we are having these type of mills. So plate mills are widely used in West Africa, whereas hammer mill is used all over the world. Roller mills are not used at the small scale because of their high cost and maintenance requirements. So for the large scale, if we are require this roller mills we set up because it require a lot of capital. Okay, it is not done for the small scale industry, it is basically done for the large scale. Okay, and because it require the high cost also, so the plate mill is usually limited to about 7 kilowatt and it is derived from the stone mill or a quern. So this can be used on a small scale. Two chilled iron plates are mounted on a horizontal axis so that one of the plates rotate and the grain is grounded between them. Okay, so in this machine what we do, two chilled iron plates in the plate machine, two chilled iron plates are mounted on a horizontal axis. Okay, and so that one plate rotate, one of the plate is continuously rotating and the grain is ground between them. The pressure between the two plates governs the fineness of the product and adjusted by the hand screw. So we can hand screw and adjust, with the help of hand screw we can adjust the pressure between the two plates, and according to that we can have our grind grains, right? So if we want a very fine ground grains, then we can increase the pressure, but if we want a coarse type of ground grains, then we can reduce the pressure. So this is in our hand, with the help of hand screw we can manually adjust the pressure. There are manual version of the plate mills available, so through they are arduous and hard work to use. Small scale hammer mills range that size from 2 kilowatt to 20 kilowatt. So we are having small scale hammer mills also, and they consist of a circular chamber in which the beetles whirl at a high speed. So this is having a circular chamber in which there is a continuously beating of the hammer. Okay, and this speed can also be, and this is with the beaters whirl at a high speed. In this speed of the hammer can be adjusted. The milled grain is filtered out through the perforated plate that runs around the edge of the mill chamber. So we are having a sieve plate, right? The plate which is perforated. So it is a sieve plate and through which the grains are filtered. The size of the holes in the perforated plate determines the fineness of the grinding of the particle, how much fine the grinding particle we require. So according to that, what is filtered out? The grind grains are filtered out. Most grains can be ground in a hammer mill, and the grain for the human food is ground to 1 millimeter particle size, while the animal food is ground to 3 millimeter particle size. So this is the particle size which we maintain in our grinding machine. That is basically in the for the hammer mill. The hammer mill cannot be used for wet milling, so it is used only for the dry milling. Roller mills crush the grains rather than milling them into the small particles. So there is a crushing of the particles, crushing of the grains in the case of roller mills. Roller mills are usually used for animal food. It is important to ensure that grains have the optimum moisture content before milling. So it is very, very important. So this is crushing of the grain in the case of roller mill is done with the help of moisture content of the availability of the moisture content of the seeds. So sometimes the seeds are soaked before going for the grinding in the roller mills, and that is also required for the animal food. So basically this roller mill is used for preparing the animal food. If the grains is too dry and hard, it is difficult to break down and requires more energy to convert it into flour. So if the grains are very hard, okay, dry and hard, it require a lot of energy to break down, right? So and then it get converted it into flour. If the grains are too moist, the material stick to the mill. So this is also very important aspect, that the grain should not be too hard or dry, and it should not also be too moist, because if it is moist, then it will not be properly powdered, or it not be properly changes into flour. So because it get stick to the mill. The optimum moisture content varies between the cereal types with the particular mill being used. So what type of the mill we are using, what type the cereals we are using, according to that, the availability of moisture content in the grains is maintained, right? So if some of the seeds which are very soft, so that should be very dry. Okay, so all the moisture content, it should be reduced, and the one which is very hard must contain a little bit of moisture. So according to the type of seeds, according to the type of mill, the cereals are chosen. Dry grain can be conditioned by the soaking in water, and moist grain can be dried before grinding. So one, the seed that is moist, that should be dried before grinding. Okay, so in the case of wheat flour, we wash the wheat, we make it totally dry, and then it goes for grinding. Dry grain can be conditioned by the soaking in water, and sometimes there are many grains that are so dry that we need to be moistened before going it for a making flour. Okay, so the different cereal grains have different milling and grinding requirement. So see the individual grain for more details. So paraboiling, next topic is the paraboiling. Paraboiling rice is an optional step, but one that improves the quality of hulling, as it results in the favor broken grain. So this is done for basically rice. Parboiling, parboiling is done because it removes the husk that is attached to the seed of the rice. So, and it also do what? It results in the favor broken grains. So the grains are not broken, and that also improves the quality of the rice. So about 50% of all rice grown is parboiled. Parboiling involves soaking and heating the rice, which is pre-cooked the grains, loosen the hulls, sterilizes and preserve the rice. So in this parboiling, what we do, we soak and heat the rice. Okay, pre-cook the grains. We are not totally cooking the grain, but it is pre-cooked, and it loses the hulls that is attached to the seeds. Okay, it sterilizes, it remove all the germs, dirt, bacteria, fungi, whatever the thing are attached to the hulls or the seeds. So it get sterilizes and preserve the rice. It also preserve the rice. Paraboiling at the village level, paraboiling is carried out in a large pans over an open fire. So this is done by the farmers, that they take this rice in a large pan, and they are kept for the open fire. Rice parboilers that improve the efficiency of cooking are available. At the village level, parboiling is carried out in the large pan. This we have covered. Prior to the storage or the further processing, cereal grains need to be dried. So once it is parboiling, then we are going for the drying. This is very important. We cannot store that seed which is wet, right? So for that, if we want to store, then it is went for the drying process. So the further processing, cereal grains need to be dried. The most cost effective method is to spread out in the sun to dry. So this is the best cost effective method, that we can spread this rice which is wet in the open sun, and it makes this rice seeds totally dry. In humid climate, it may be necessary to use an artificial dryer. So sometimes the climate is humid, the sun heat is not properly available. So at that time, artificial dryer can be used. Simple grain dryers can be made from a large rectangular box or tray which with a perforated base. So simple grain dryers, there are simple grain dryers that can be made by the large rectangular box, okay, and there are perforated base. So from the base, the dry heated air reaches to the grains and it makes the seed dry. The grain is spread over the base of the box and hot air is blown up through the lower chamber by a fan. So the fan can be powered by the diesel or electricity, and the heat supplied by the kerosene, electricity, gas, or burning biomass. So we can burn any material with the help of kerosene or electricity, gas, or burning biomass, right? And we can have a fan that is powered by the diesel or electricity. So this heat which is there by burning of biomass or the kerosene, that heat is make its way towards the seeds with the help of fan. So cereal grains should be dried to 10 to 15% moisture before storage. Storage, secondary processing. Now this is all about the primary processing. Now we can have the secondary processing also. Okay, so the dried grains are stored in bulk until required for the processing. So once we have a dried grains, then we can store it for a longer duration of time, and we can store it in a bulk. The grain should be inspected regularly for signs of spoilage and the moisture content tested. So we must inspect the seed whether there is any spoilage, whether there is any increase of the moisture content, right? So the first of all, the container should be tightly packed, and you must ensure that there is no rodents reaching to the seeds. There are no moisture that is reaching to the seed, because it can spoil seeds, right? So this is very, very important for the storage. If the grain has picked up the moisture, it should be re-dried immediately. So the grains are often protected with the insecticide and must be stored in the rodent-proof container. So this is done for the secondary processing, that is baking, frying, blending, extrusion, fermenting, and roasting. This we have already covered up in the first session. So this is all about this session. We will have one more session to complete this particular topic. Till then, thank you very much.